backwards. Oh, into my corner. Hey, Light, you come here often? I so I was going to talk about my thoughts on YouTube sponsorships, and I will do that in a moment. However, I've been getting comments, especially on uh, the uh, the, the vlog. I was just gonna say the video, but I wanted to be specific. I'm trying to be more specific in my life, uh, being less nebulous and broad. Anyway, there we are. Now I'm stunning. The video I made talking about how there's just all this shit going on, and like I have chosen to I made the choice to live. In the thumbnail, I titled the video, "Despite all the shit, I persist," which I'm not really like concerned about like views or numbers necessarily, but like I am surprised that like anyone's like seeing these things, because I'm just like one of so many people on YouTube who just wants to like talk about shit, you know, the yap genre of YouTube. And like I realize I'm not big by any means, but like there are people who like I'm talking into the screen, and then there are people who are like, yeah, you know what? I like what you're saying. I love that. I love leaving comments. I love reading comments. I love like actually interacting with others about just like whatever the fuck. It's been really cool. Somebody asked me if I went to a certain college. Uh, I didn't go to that college. Even if I did, I wouldn't be honest about that, because my personal privacy is very important to me. I am from the East Coast. I love dogs. Um, some other shit I let slip previously, and moving forward, it's probably the most that's ever going to be revealed about me. Pronouns they, them. They, she. Of course, I have it. And that's really it. Jeez. I'm okay. Also, most important detail about me, very private. I have lovely hair. I can have lovely hair. I just need to actually maintain it, which I've been doing the past couple days. So yeah, love the comments. I'm very happy about that, and I haven't responded to them as of this recording. I will. It's almost midnight where I am. I record these at night when it's late. Also, I go over here, no echo. Ooh. Call back. 1 second. Plane. There's a plane. So what I want to talk about today, I wrote a note this morning thinking about how, like, I don't like ads. I get it. They are a necessary part of any kind of media. The whole system that currently exists is previously the system was, all right, you have entertainment, and then sparse between said entertainment are ads for products. And if you have an advertisement in whatever show, like I did radio plays when I was in theater, and like some of the radio plays had like these brazen, unapologetic, and this is not a good thing, unapologetic advertisements, like one for Jello. I'm not gonna say what radio play, because like I mentioned before, personal privacy, and it may seem minor, but like it could result in any info about me getting revealed. My mask is crooked. You have now been homogenized. And I remember like doing the radio plays, just thinking, wow, it is wild that these were just in these radio plays at all. And then now we're doing them just because, you know, it's campy. We're like trying to maintain the integrity of the show, but it's also kind of comical that just like the show stops, and then suddenly there's this sponsored segment in this like family radio show talking about Jello. That is wild. Just like a full minute. Integrity is actually what I wanted to talk about. I try to be conscious about social issues. try to be conscious about social issues. Oh, what the fuck? I just tried a second take. No. Like, the whole point of this is me being candid. It's in the fucking name. Editing me? Don't you edit that out. Just cut out the gaps between me speaking where it's necessary. I don't have like a script or like a whole well-researched video essay. I just want to talk about ads. I don't like ads. I really don't. Like, I actually do have YouTube Premium, although I'm not paying for it. Like, a friend of a friend, its parent, I forgot what the connection is. A friend of a friend's parent is paying for, is paying for YouTube Premium, and just like through osmosis, I found out that there is a slot open up in this parent's YouTube Premium plan. And I was like, hey, can I get in on that? And they're like, sure. I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, now I don't get ads on YouTube. Lucky me, although I was told the first chance that someone else in that person's family wants in, I'm out. So it is a temporary arrangement. It's pretty nice. But even then, sponsored segments. I used to be very absolute about this. Like the first I remember like the first sponsorships on YouTube pissed me off. I would actually unsubscribe from people who were sponsored just at all on YouTube. Sponsoring at all on YouTube, there can be understood. Like now it's expected. It's desired to like go out and like get a sponsorship. Meanwhile, there are other channels. Like there's that one person who wears a bag over their head, and then I think Dakota Talks. I don't remember the name, but they do honest reviews of certain products that are commonly seen. Like I think HelloFresh is a very common sponsor. I've seen ButcherBox on like cooking shows, obviously. If you know what ButcherBox is, I mean it's in the name. And then there's also things like Audible or Domain.com, the first sponsors for anybody. And then one I see often is Factor. A lot of like meal prep or pre-done meal prep food services. I've expressed how I feel about ads. I really do not like them. So I tightened my mask and then washed it and tossed it in the dryer on accident. I wasn't supposed to put it in the dryer, but like it hasn't been slipping on my nose. Maybe that's what I needed. Either of those factors. Hey, keep myself focused on accident. There's this content creator, Annie Austin, on YouTube, and I'm not trying to call this person out. They make videos about, I call it crackpot science, like how many trees are there in Skyrim? I think that was a recent one. Where do the birds go in Red Dead Redemption 2? How many people are employed in various regions in Pokemon and also in Skyrim? And I love those videos. They're great. Having to have an extension to just skip sponsor segments, it's not ideal. Like I've become very good at skipping sponsor segments. YouTube Premium actually has like a feature to skip frequently skipped segments, which happen to be sponsor segments. And it's wild that YouTube acknowledges this and has a feature that if you pay YouTube money, you can skip that. I feel like there's some fuckery going on there. And I don't know what to say about it. It just feels wrong that YouTube is like, all right, well, you can ignore it, and then you're still paying us money, so we're allowing you to skip it. It's just off. And it's like HelloFresh, like they're notoriously evil. They like engaged in a shit ton of union busting around when they became big in around the 2020s, which I mean they do meal prep stuff, and like if you remember 2020 and 21 and part of 2022, like you'll know that shit was scary. Even just going out to get groceries, like if you were high risk at that time, like I imagine you probably would have used a service like that. But yeah, HelloFresh is not a great company, suffice to say, and they happen to own Factor. I don't really know what to say about them other than it's a scummy company. And it's easy to say that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Like following that, that's just like, that's acquiescence. That's just giving into like whatever the status quo is. Oh, it's all about the system. I don't have an answer. Of course I don't. I'm just some rando. I'm just some rando delighted to find out that there are some people who are like interested and have similar life experiences. Also, like living with BPD, and I mean, like I don't know that I know. I think I know. Mask is starting to slip down a little bit, not metaphorically, just literally. I'm just talking. I have no substance apart from just like how I feel, and that's really, I don't know what to do. It just bugs me. I am I'm dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied. I'm dissatisfied with how like a lot of issues exist in the world as whatever. What are you gonna do? I I don't like that. Like change can happen. Like look at Nepal. Look at like oh that's all I can think of in recent history. Like Italy during what was it, World War II, that they overthrew their ruler, who was being a fascist piece of shit. What else? God, I am so uneducated. My I'm just gonna move on and get back to my main point about sponsorships and integrity. Integrity. Sponsorships have become like a status quo. My I say I'm of two minds about it, and I am. Like my other thought, my one side is I hate ads. I really do, and making them a little bit more difficult to skip. Don't like that. And when someone like wears like a different colored shirt, or they have like a little progress bar at the bottom, or something like that, then yeah, great. Like yeah, cool. I can just like go along the video bar and then look for where the segment skips. Problem solved. For folks that don't do that, yeah, I get a little bit annoyed about that. Or like podcasts, also having multiple sponsors in a day. The Shilling Project products, like when the Office Ladies, my mother listens to that podcast in the car. She was driving me somewhere at some point, and then I heard them push BetterHelp. I was like, oh no. I did look up the date on that one, and that was before all that broke. I mean, who would have thought, right? Look into YouTube sponsorships. Oh, do they use slave labor? Yeah, they do. And uh, my other mind is that like the person doing the sponsor segment, they've got to eat. Like they want to make it as a content creator doing art. Like it's a dime a dozen. Like we all know this, and I want to be lenient. It's just like there is a responsibility, like to have to make the choice between eating and and keeping one's integrity just to follow one's dream. That's that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, there's one of the nebulous statements I was making. It's bullshit, is what it is. Don't know if that's any better. So yeah, content creators taking on sponsorships, I really don't blame them, not too much, unless like sponsorship deals for companies that are known to be genuinely awful. I can just skip it and be like, whatever. That guy, Annie Austin, they do very fun videos, and to see them sponsored by Factor all the time, I'm like, ugh. It's not quite as bad as BetterHelp, just given that they're owned by a company that actively engages it in union busting because they know how like the laborers have power. I'm gonna grab my hammer and sickle. The laborers do have the potential to have more power than their corporate overlords, and then just like use scare tactics to like break up a union before it can even form. Also, I'm not gonna be making a video over the next 2 or 3 days. I'm going on a trip, so expect that. Like, I wake up tomorrow. I always record these like the night before, and then I will edit the video sometime just throughout the day when I have time. I usually am like up at midnight, 11:59. How about that? I'm usually up at midnight recording this because prior I had I was finishing editing the video late at night. Like I just uploaded it. I think it was about 11:30 like my time, and no and that's it. So yeah, I'm generally up like pretty late like doing this. I'm not gonna have the time, nor will I even have access to my computer. I'm going on a trip. I might share photos there. Honestly, I probably won't. I mean, I'm considering it. I'm not gonna say where I'm going in case I decide to just not. I feel like I have nothing else to say here. Like Timer says 19 minutes, 18 seconds. Could wait one more second. But yeah, I wanted to talk about integrity, and that I am thoroughly disappointed in like seeing so many sponsorships of companies that are like known to be really shit, and just like I get that there are contracts, and it just it bugs me to see like content creators getting like oh yeah I just got a sponsor I record getting big, like oh I just got a sponsor deal, great, now I can afford my rent, good for you, and then to find out that the company uses slave labor, and because that's already known. Now well, of course, all the faults or nearly all the faults on the company, but also like regarding the sponsor segment, that's a problem with with the person. Either they knew or they didn't do research, and both of those aren't great. I mean, what can I say that I haven't already said? It's disappointing. I don't mean to end this on a negative note. I suppose I am. Yeah. Also, is that bamboo? I don't quite know, but it looks like bamboo. Which, if it is, explains why it's in a pot. That stuff is aggressive. At least to my knowledge, bamboo is really interesting. When I was younger, my friends at scout camp, well, they weren't my friends. The people I was in scouting with, we would make weapons and like tools out of bamboo, just because it's so sturdy, and like it's pretty easy to work with. Also, if you leave a comment, I promise you I will read it, and I'll do my best to give a meaningful response.